Okay, we are initiating our Module 4 group session for Section 1, the mid-adult patient population. I have Christy and Michelle with me.
Hello.
Hello.
And we're going to have Michelle just kind of agenda kind of form and then just kind of play off of that.
So, sorry, let me find my notes again. So calling the meeting to order. This week we have Jose as the group leader and submitter. I am the facilitator, and Christy is the recorder and timekeeper. And going over the minutes from last week. So last week we discussed statistics that we were going to put on for our slides. With the CDC, I did put some statistics on the board for you guys to take a look at. We did discuss Gordon's assessment tool and using the didn't write it down, for what's yours called?
Trans-theoretical.
Yes, so that is the model that we're going to use. And we're going to be setting the goals for change. This week we are going to discuss our health model and the Google summary of all our assessments. And Christy posted we're going to discuss our assessment tool that Christy already posted and we've decided upon.
Okay.
And
nice.
Sure.
Another thing is that I've also put on our Google Docs the health assessment tool and summary, so that we can take each individual one, put it together, and then we could come up with one succinct one.
Yes.
So that's up there. And I've invited both of you guys to edit it.
Okay. So the assessment tool that we decide to use as a group, right, is the one from the research. Gosh, I don't remember the name of it, but it is what is it?
It's the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, the AHRQ, the National Guideline Clearinghouse.
Right, and so it is the lung cancer guideline screening tool for smokers. So we'll use that as the group assessment tool, and post our, make sure we kind of get our all our assessments and summarizations on the Google Doc that Christy has put up already, and so that we can just kind of make up the Module 4 assignment that is due by tomorrow at midnight. We all kind of agreement on that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
You want to go down the list for the Module 4 summary and just component?
Yep.
So the initial one is list components, patterns chosen for assessment by your group and your rationale for choosing the components. So I looked up in Edelman in Chapter 6, which are the health promotion individual patterns. If you guys have it, it's page 134.
Okay, let me grab it real quick.
Okay, I'm there. Is that the one that says implementing physical activity guidelines? Oh, wait a minute, I'm on Pender. What the? All right. Okay. We have javelinas that
Is that your house? Oh.
Yeah. So we have javelinas that there's a wash behind our house, and around this time they kind of like cruise around back there, and our dog is crazy because they have this really, I don't know if you know, I didn't previously, they have this really distinct smell, and so they're smelling
They're
them.
stinky. They are stinky.
Yeah.
And they're mean. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
So, while we're waiting for her to come back, I actually just kind of picked 5 of the patterns that I thought were most appropriate to our population.
Okay, what page did you say that was?
134.
Okay.
So I was just telling Jose that I looked through and just picked out 5 of the patterns that I thought would be most appropriate for our like middle class, our age group, and smokers.
Okay. What you got?
And you said in Edelman?
In the Edelman.
Okay.
Were you looking at the table? Was it a table?
No, it's actually on 134. It's a summary of each of them.
And you know what? I actually, I picked some. We're talking about interventions, right?
No, these are the components, like patterns chosen for the assessment.
Oh, activity, exercise, pattern elimination. Okay.
The elimination patterns activity, that's the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So I thought the activity exercise pattern would be a good one because we're dealing with smokers.
Right.
Probably a good idea for them to get active and get some exercise. On the next page,
maybe health perception.
I did choose that. I think that was one of the ones I picked, like self-perception.
Yep. And then we have the coping and stress, maybe.
Yes, I picked that also because people tend to smoke if they're stressed.
And the other one that I thought also would be the values and belief pattern.
Oh, I didn't think about that one. We could use that one.
Yeah. That's 1, 2.
Let me highlight that one.
3, 4.
So the cognitive perceptual pattern, it says, includes the ability of the individual to understand and follow directions.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
That's a good one. That will be 5, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Right. So activity, cognitive perceptual,
Let me write these.
the coping. Hold on.
Okay, so health perception, cognitive perceptual, self-perception, coping, stress, and values and beliefs.
Oh, I thought we had activities in there.
Oh, you want to do activities? We can do activities.
Cognitive perceptual is 1, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So cognitive perceptual, I don't want to, values and beliefs for sure, I think, right? You guys agree?
Yes.
Coping stress.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's a good one.
And I
Health
guess,
perception.
I don't see one that's just, oh, self-perception. Okay, I'm
No,
sorry.
health perception.
No, I think
Oh.
health perception would be better than the
Let me-
self-perception. I was thinking self-perception, but I also highlighted health perception. So
Okay, I agree.
So we've got health, activities, coping and stress. So we could either do the cognitive or what was the other one? The values and beliefs?
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Yeah,
write.
values and beliefs.
How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, sorry. Let me count again. So we've got the health,
1.
activities, coping and stress,
Cognitive perception. Okay.
values. Is that 4?
Yep. And either the cognitive or the self-perception.
I think the cognitive.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
All right.
So health. Activity.
Okay.
Coping. And so if you guys would like, I can work on that tomorrow with rationales and post it.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is to provide a brief description of the tool. So we've have kind of already talked a little bit about it. It's that lung cancer screening tool, and it says types and numbers of items, scoring method, and administration.
Well, is the description of the tool, wouldn't that be the five A's model of smoking?
Good question.
I know.
Because now I'm thinking then, if that was the case, then that would be our assessment tool.
Right. The guideline is what the
I guess we should determine whether we're going to go with which one, because aren't they kind of, they're both assessment tools, right?
You know
like
what? I say we do the 5 A's because that's easy. That's, I don't want to say easier, but it's, it's more the asking, advising, assessing, assisting, and arranging.
And it's specific to smoking.
Yeah, I really like that one. Yeah, that one's very, very
Self-explanatory, straightforward.
Right, thank you. And I actually went a little bit on last week's kind of assignment, individual assignment, using that as a kind of like a template. It's pretty translates easily. That's the word I was looking for. Translates easily, like bedside, and kind of being able to, as a nurse, to kind of come up with like, how can I assess this guy's, do you smoke? Yes. Do you want to quit? So on and so forth, using the A's as your initial indicator. I really like that. So what do you think, Shell? Do we want to kind of do the 5 A's, and you're okay with that?
No, I think that's great, and it is specific to our, to our problem with the smoking.
Okay, it was easy. So number 3, we so again we're gonna go with the 5 A's. We all really like that, and I think it works well with with all kinds, not just bedside, but whatever scenario. Provide a general summary of the person's interviews. We will be doing that. I use my neighbor. That's how I recruited my guys. So not very hard for me, but again, we can just kind of summarize that stuff when we're doing our summarization, and we kind of all input in our stuff. What do you guys think?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. Let's see, number 4, what were the overall results of the assessment? Again, that's stuff that we're gonna be doing here as part of our assignment for tomorrow.
Right.
Anything from there that you guys kind of want to clarify or explain to me, like if I was 8?
Christy, since you found the 5 A's tool, do you want to do number 2 just to briefly describe it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We can do that. And actually, I have typed in our patterns onto the assessment, the summary tool.
Oh wow, that was quick. Nice.
Okay. How funny, number 5 says describe the strengths of the tool, and that's kind of like what we've just been talking about right now. It's just that simplicity is very easy to recall and kind of translates well to like each of our own workplace scenarios. Let's see.
The limitations.
I guess it could, if we want to talk about limitations,
what I would think though, it would maybe be, it's a little bit restrictive because it doesn't allow for open-ended questions.
I like that. Yeah.
And maybe talk about, does it allow for us to actually determine the rate isn't the word I'm thinking of nicotine dependence, like the actual
Are you talking about like a scale? Like it doesn't have like a scale or a...
Yes. So that would be, I think, one of the limitations for it.
Right.
I think, Jose, you were saying that it can work in any of our workplaces, but one of the limitations may be like the last thing is to arrange, and that's not always possible if like if you work in the ER like me, you don't like get to arrange stuff that often.
Right.
So
Right.
that just might be one scenario where there's a limitation.
Right.
Maybe there's too many choices. I think the one what you and Michelle both just said about the with it being in the emergency room, person can come in and then leave, and there's no way to follow through.
Right.
So I think that would be a good one. Is that a tamale pot up there? I'm gonna have to tell Jose he needs to make this some tamales.
Oh man, yeah. I've done them a couple of times, and they've come out okay by myself, which I thought was a big deal.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Oh man, it is a lot of work. Believe you me. Yeah. Sorry, I had to to go tell my kid to turn off the vacuum. I couldn't really hear. I missed a last little part.
Oh, no. It was just that we were talking about how one of the limitations, like you and Michelle both mentioned, would be, in the bedside, it's hard in the emergency department to follow up, follow through, and to keep that person on the radar. So that would definitely be a limitation.
Right, right.
And I think that's, and changes that we suggest, and then how would you use the tool to access our lifespan?
You guys were already talking about some of the, I mean, you can, just like you said, there might be an added component of, a scoring or something like that, where I guess maybe expand on it a little bit. I really like the simplicity of it, but I guess, you're right. It could be, could be some aspects of it. I mean, some scenarios where it might be really not conducive for the follow-up aspect of it.
Right.
I wonder if there's like we could, even if you, there's that component of it could be, I guess, earmarked for like a, if it could like generate a, something to a social services person that, oh, this person was assessed in the ED, requires follow-up for smoking cessation because they did ask for intervention, or they did ask like they want help quitting or something like that. I don't know. But I mean, I guess we could go all kinds of changes to it a little bit, really think about it.
Yeah, and I like the adding the changes of, like you said, some way to score or to a scale to, how much of a smoker are they, how long they've been smoking, and that would be beneficial.
Or maybe even someone who scores really high, like if you score, like, especially for someone like you, Michelle, like someone who scores, let's just make number greater than 20, then those people would be kind of forwarded to someone who can actually follow up with them. Your higher risk, or whatever you might want to call that, your, I don't know, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Like they would be given referrals.
Right.
That's good. I like it.
Yep.
So I think, does that pretty much sum up what we need to have for this week, or as far as the group assignment?
I think just how would we use it for our lifespan group?
Or DRHA. So I guess we should really at least contemplate, or at least discuss a little bit who we are targeting. I know that we, who we're targeting, but as far as that DRH scenario, are we targeting, again, I think I mentioned this the other day, like targeting folks who are just smoking out by the cafeteria, or are we targeting just all smokers in?
It's the ones, we got to stick with the scenario, which is the ones that are congregating outside of that cafe. The one thing that I don't know, in my annotated bibliography, my last article, one of the things this is what I was asking, as far as, do we need to identify a population as far as, like I said, upper class, middle class, or lower class? Because in my article, it talked about how the prevalence of smoking and quitting, the rates were so low for people of lower income that they smoked more than higher, the higher income. So I don't know if that's something that we want to talk about now, if that's something that we need to discuss later on. but it's maybe something that we need to start to think about, because I don't think that we've identified what the actual, we've got the age range, but we don't have the population.
Right.
Is that what you were saying, Jose?
No, but that like yours better. You're talking about the social economic aspect of it, and just determining. I think going with, I don't know, if just simply going with middle class is okay. Just to have, or I don't know if we need to be more narrow, I guess, than that. Just saying general. Oh, the middle class folks. What do you guys think?
It could go either way. I was just thinking about the article that I had done, which that was the one thing that it over and over is it talked about how the chance of the lower income to quit smoking is very, very low. So, you guys, I'm up for anything.
So I was initially thinking middle class also, but since you say that, I think in one of the articles I was reading too, is they did say that there was such a high prevalence of like lower income people, smoking more extensively or having a harder time quitting. So
right.
I think I do remember that in one of the articles.
So do you guys just want to go with the low
income? I think let's do. What do you think?
I think it sounds good.
Okay. Let's see. Huh? Yeah. Make sure you just vacuum after those. Okay. I think that's it for this module 4 summary stuff. So, is there anything else that you guys can think of? I know that we have some, we have the AP, the annotated bibliography, plus our template, our individual assessment template to do.
And then we have 2 response posts that we also have to do.
By Sunday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think that if we just really focus on getting the part tomorrow, if we get the link uploaded and we get the summary done tomorrow, I don't think it's too terrible.
Okay. All right. So that is it. Yeah?
Yep.
Great. Thanks, guys.
And then do we want to talk about meeting sometime again next week?
Oh, that's right. Let me grab my calendar.
Wednesday or Thursday work for me next week.
Wednesday or Thursday, okay. Mm-hmm.
We just had my little girl. My house is a 3-ring circus. I have I don't know if I told, a 9-year-old boy, an 8-year-old girl, and a 2-year-old boy. And my girl does competitive gymnastics, and we are at the gym literally 6 days a week.
Wow.
And it's a full-time job. I'll tell you what.
Holy cow.
I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
You said that Wednesday or Thursday next week is okay for you, Christy?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm actually open either day.
I'm open Thursday. That's the 8th? That's the 8th already?
Right?
Yes.
You know what? I think let's do Thursday, because I'm looking at my little assignment schedule that I made. And other than our meeting, it's just an annotated bibliography. With the exception of us filling in our slides, but we can do that as we go along. And so.
Okay, so what time?
Actually, this time works good for me because everybody's chilled out.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll call it 8 o'clock again for next time. Are you okay with that, Michelle?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Or actually, do you think we could do 7 o'clock?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
We could do it earlier. I could do it while I'm at work.
No.
I mean, if you'd rather get it done during the day.
I'm whatever you guys want. If you guys want to do it at 2 in the morning.
No.
No, I'm free from like noon on. I'm okay.
Do you just want to keep it till 7?
Michelle.
I am okay. Like I said, like Jose said, from like noon till 7. So.
Is there a time, Christy, before the kids get home that you're okay, or?
Are you kidding? They're on summer break.
Oh.
So you know, if you want to do it at noon on next Thursday, that is fine. Thursday's our admin day, so if we want to do it at noon, I can do it at work, and it won't be an issue.
I can do that.
Want to shoot for that?
Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay.
I
You
mean,
really want to do that, Christy? Are you sure?
Yeah, I work for the government. Sorry, I didn't mean to record it. Yeah, I mean, that'll be okay because that's my lunchtime, my lunch break. And then we also, like I said, that's an admin day. So we should be able to do it. Okay.
That's good for me.
Okay. So 12 o'clock on Thursday. And then we don't have to keep it at 12 every time. I mean, it just happens to work. But we can go back to 7 or 8, whatever the heck you guys want. It's fine.
How many more of these do we have to do?
That's luck.
Oh, we only have one more.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so next week will be our last one, and then we have to just do our YouTube presentation. All right.
That's pretty quick.
You guys, we have 3.5 weeks left. Can you believe it?
Wow.
No, I cannot.
Wow.
No, this is going by.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, guys.
Christy, before you go, once I hit stop broadcast, I should bring up something that generates their, it's saying trans something, right?
Yes, and then remember, go over to that, let me look.
Video manager thing?
Yes, and then it'll show your videos, and then once you click into it, you should be able to get that link.
Okay.
If something happens, just give me a call.
You know I will. I'll be like, Christy?
If I don't answer, don't panic because I'm dealing with the circus, but I will call you back.
Okay.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Yes, sir. Hold on, Barbara.